everybody, Mike here at Elevate Outdoors down here in Sanford, North Carolina. Today I'm going to jump on here and we're going to talk about chunks, jig trailers, chunks, big old pieces of plastic that you put on the back of your jig. There's 1,000 different types of chunks out there. We're just going to talk about a few of them that we have in stock here at Elevate Outdoors. First thing we'll jump over is to the Yamamoto. Obviously, Yamamoto is famous for their Cinco, but they are also known for being loaded down with salt. This is their 3-inch Yamacraw. As you can tell, it is a smaller profile chunk. Looks like a crawdad, and that's obviously what a jig is going to imitate 90% of the time when you're crawling it across the bottom. Several different colors in it. I just got out the green pumpkin, and then the orange color. Green pumpkin is a staple. The orange, obviously in the springtime, is a color that trigger bites and is very popular in the springtime. Jumping over into the missile baits, we'll start out with the Chunky D. First off, it is a bigger style bait. You can look at the tail there and see that it's got them fins right there that's going to catch the water. So as it's falling, you're going to see a swimming action. The thing I like about the Chunky D, you can cut it to fit the size of your jig. If you're throwing a smaller, say the mini flip, and you don't want that much of your jig trailer hanging down, you can come right here and cut it off and still feed it up on there, and you're still going to have a great profile. Going to a smaller chunk, this is their mini D chunk. It is for their finesse swim jigs. A little smaller profile chunk. Crawfather, Missile Baits Crawfather. As you can tell, it is more of an inline bait. The tails, if you see how they're connected there, and you can tell just how easy they move. This would be a great jig trailer if you're wanting to see them legs swimming as it's falling. You pitch out next to the dock, and as the bait's falling, the Crawfather, the legs on there is going to be kicking and swimming real good. Switching over to the D-Bomb. The D-Bomb is what put missile baits on the map. The full-size D-Bomb, a lot of people don't think about using it as a jig trailer, but if you got a big jig and you're looking for that big full-size bite, you put the D-Bomb on there, it's going to give it a bigger profile. It's going to slow it down a little bit on the fall, so if you want to slow it down, you don't want it to fall that quickly, put the D-Bomb on there. 3 different sizes in the D-Bomb. The baby D-Bomb is a smaller size, so it's going to work a little bit better on your smaller, not micro, but just kind of a 1/4 ounce jig, maybe a finesse jig. And then you drop down to their new bait they just released last year, their micro D-Bomb. This, as you can tell, this is a small bait, but you pair this up with a micro finesse jig, that 1/8 ounce size. Missile Jigs has some micro finesse jigs that this pairs up perfectly with. So once again, with missile baits, D-Bomb, baby D-Bomb, micro D-Bomb, Crawfather, the Chunky D, and then the mini D chunk. Coming over to my left, your right a little bit more, is the Zoom. Zoom has been around forever, and the reason why they work, they're successful. They make all kinds of chunks. Probably their #1 chunk is going to be their super chunk. A little bit bigger size, just very simple, imitates crawdads. They do make a smaller size, Super Chunk Junior, very popular on the smaller jigs. Coming down, I like to throw this like on a football head when you're crawling it. It's a Fat Albert twin tail grub. As you can tell, the legs come out. It's a wider profile. A lot of people don't think you can throw a single tail grub on back of a chunk, especially on back of a jig, especially if it is a swim jig. Zoom makes the Fat Albert single tail. Speaking of swim jigs, they actually make a chunk called a swimming chunk. You can put this on back of your swim jig. I've thrown this on back of a black spinnerbait at nighttime. It works real good for that. And then coming out with their big salty chunk. This is when you're looking for that one bite, you're throwing a bigger size jig. You're not out there fishing for a limit, you're out there fishing for the big fish. The big salty chunk is Zoom's full size chunk. Once again, just wanted to jump on here. There are 1,000 more different types of chunks that I didn't even begin to touch on. how you work your jig, what kind of chunk you put on it is really a matter of a preference, however you like to fish. I just wanted to go over some of the chunks we have here at Elevate Outdoors, just real quick. You know, once again, we got the Zoom, you got the missile baits, and then you got the Yamamoto. If you got any questions, give us a call here, Elevate Outdoors, or come down and see us, 1600 Westover Drive, Sanford, North Carolina.